What's up, heathens? How ya doing? I'm the Godless engineer, and I critically analyze apologists' claims to give you the best arguments and information so that you can stand up and use your voice. But we're not going to be analyzing anything today. We're going to be taking a look at Trump supporters realizing that they've lost the election, or rather going through the election and them losing it in real time or something. I don't know. They lost their minds this weekend when Biden was declared the president-elect. Now, he hasn't actually won the presidency yet because the Electoral College still has to vote for him to be a president, so keep that in mind. But before we begin today, let's check in on our dear old president. Oh. Seems like he's lying too much for Twitter to actually display his tweets. Fuck, I guess we're going to have to go and look for his supporters to speak for him. That's what we're going to be looking at today, so if you want to know how bad the Trump supporters are taking this loss, then please stay tuned. I'm Brosafus, and I will be reading dramatized versions of all of the comments that you will be seeing today. Thank you. Alright, so, first, let's see how this one guy is really taking this loss. Death to all Marxist Democrats, take no prisoners, leave no survivors. What? Now, this guy is kind of special because he's actually a law enforcement officer. And he wants to kill all the Democrats. And he wants to do it because he considers them to be treasonous. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but me, a Democrat, exercising my right to vote and voting for my candidate is not treasonous. In fact, that's what we should do in this country, is vote for our elected officials. If you voted this year, thank you so much for voting. So, just thinking logically here. If Biden wins, there goes the neighborhood. Now we know what all those FEMA camps are for. Get ready for a lockdown and to lose your guns and be forced to vaccinate that will kill millions and sterilize humanity. What FEMA camps are you talking about? If you're talking about any FEMA camps that might have been set up for, like, the coronavirus, that was for the coronavirus. That wasn't for some kind of, I don't know, genocide that you think Biden is going to accomplish. Also, if there is a lockdown, it's going to be because it's medically necessary to protect the most amount of Americans. But that doesn't mean that you're going to lose your guns. It's not really a focus of the Democratic Party to, like, take away all your guns. Now, I will say more gun control is needed. And, I don't really think that all citizens need access to assault-style weapons. So, yeah, I do think that there need to be some restrictions in place, but that is far from wanting to restrict you from having the Second Amendment. Oh, also, vaccinations won't kill people, it will actually save people. And it's definitely not going to sterilize us. I don't know where the fuck you get that, goddamn dipshit. Well, only president to lose the popular vote twice. Losing very strongly. Losing like no one has ever lost before. Many people are saying it. Yeah, he did lose the popular vote twice. But it's because of the gerrymandered Electoral College that Trump was even voted in the first place. I really think that it's a travesty that the Electoral College could supersede the majority vote of the population. But I get that there are good arguments for keeping the Electoral College. I think that the Electoral College just needs to be tweaked a little bit so that it better represents the will of the people. And then we don't have Brosafus for this one. But this is Keemstar, and apparently Keemstar, he predicted that liberals were going to, fall on the streets crying like they did in 2016. But when Trump is actually losing, he goes straight for, they be cheating, y'all. And then somebody photoshopped him into the crying liberal on the ground from 2016. Oh, man. I don't know why they got to act like this. I mean, sure, I was disappointed with 2016 too. But I also didn't go directly to, he be cheating. Now, I'm just thinking about this rationally and shit. How did he win states that are all red and just a little bit of blue? Like this? The fuck is that? Cheating, that's what that is. Well, let me educate you a little bit. You see, Population centers have a lot of people in them. That's why they're population centers. But also, the more people you have in a city, the more liberal that city generally is. Now, this doesn't equate to all major cities, but for the most part, major cities are going to lean more Democratic. So yeah, if you have a state where you have very few population centers where most of the people that reside in that state live, and then you just have fucking nothing elsewhere, then you're probably going to go blue, even though a majority of the surface area of that state is red, because the majority surface area does not represent the majority of the population. So here's Bernice King, who says this is why they work hard to suppress black and brown votes. And then this happens. The Democrats are the ones suppressing votes. No, the Democrats are not suppressing votes. In fact, Stacey Abrams, who lost the 2018 governor race for Georgia, went around Georgia, the entire state, and registered 800,000 voters. So no, Democrats are not looking to suppress the vote. In fact, Democrats are looking to increase the number of voters. But as we all know, the Republicans don't want more people to vote. They just want their people to vote.
Now, many of our Christians have what I call the goo-goo syndrome. Good government. They want everybody to vote. I don't want everybody to vote. Elections are not won by a majority of people. They never have been from the beginning of our country, and they are not now. As a matter of fact, our leverage in the elections, quite candidly, goes up as the voting populace goes down.
President Donald Trump, the UK stands right beside you. These demon-crats are disgusting cheats, but the Most High Heavenly One sees them. The truth will prevail. Thank you, sir. For your strength and integrity, we love you.
Democrats? Really? You're going the Democrat, portraying us as these evil people? Really? All we did was vote for our president. That's all we did. Also, I think saying strength and integrity to Donald Trump as if they're some kind of glorifying trait for him is really off base and shows that you could possibly be a bot. Speaking of bots, there were a number of tweets and comments that seemed very bot-like. Like this one. My wife told me that she voted for Joe Biden. As we speak, we are getting divorced, and I'm leaving for Mexico. Paper signed, everything is done. Absolutely disgusted with the 2020 elections. What a disgrace. So wait, you're divorcing your wife because she voted for Biden and you're gonna move to Mexico? Really? Also, I don't know why racist pieces of shit would want to move to Mexico.
This is incredibly rigged. The Dems are printing new votes as we speak. Sleepy Joe was gonna up those taxes again and make sure I cannot take my workers on their yearly holiday. I am taking my company and leaving this country to China. They know how to run a democracy.
China? Really? As far as I can tell, the Republicans hate China. Why would you take your company and move to China? I don't understand this. This literally makes no sense. They know how to run a democracy there? Something tells me you don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
I am done with this country. I shall be leaving USA shortly with my wife in disgust at this situation. Mexico is a much more welcome place. I'd rather be in a stable country like theirs as opposed to one run by Biden. My kids are scared of him.
Well, at least this one is taking his wife to Mexico, but again I ask, why do racist pieces of shit want to go to Mexico? I mean, don't they consider that place to be one of those shithole countries? Also, are you gonna climb over that wall that Donald Trump built? Nah, you'll probably just squeeze through it. Okay, so this next one's kind of funny.
Keep counting!
If you'll notice, this motherfucker has stopped the count in his name, but is yelling to keep counting. This just tells me that they only want Donald Trump's votes to count. And they don't want the Democratic vote to count at all.
Did you vote? Yes, for Trump. not trying to get my taxes raised. You're a hostess at Outback.
Now, this one's just hilarious, okay? Because Biden's tax plan is actually increasing the taxes on the wealthiest people in our country, while the middle and lower class people are not having a tax hike. Meanwhile, Donald Trump's taxes are going to hike up for the poorest individuals in our country starting in 2021. That's right around the corner if you can't do math.
But there's no evidence of election fraud. This is big. The software used to tabulate the votes in one county sent at least 6,000 Trump votes to Biden. 47 other counties use that software. Other states may have it too. Was it a glitch or a feature for those cheating, stealing Democrats?
All right, Donald Trump Jr., hold on to your britches and quit retweeting Ian Miles Chong, okay? First off, let's take a look at the video that he's talking about.
If all this wasn't enough, in Antrim County, ballots were counted for Democrats that were meant for Republicans, causing a 6,000 vote swing against our candidates. The county clerk came forward and said tabulating software glitched and caused a miscalculation of the votes. Since then, we have now discovered that 47 counties use this same software in the same capacity. Antrim County had to hand count all of the ballots, and these counties that use this software need to closely examine their results for similar discrepancies. The people of Michigan deserve a transparent and open process.
Okay, so in this video, they are automatically assuming that the votes went to Biden when they were originally Trump. But what actually happened is not that. The votes were counted correctly, it's just that there was a glitch and it was caught within an hour. So votes weren't transferred over to Biden, there was just a small glitch and our system corrected the problem. Oh, wait, I'm hearing that Donald Trump actually has a press conference going on over at the Four Seasons. So let's cut on over there and see what Rudy Giuliani has to say.
The poll? Because they don't decide the election. The call for Joe Biden is it? Who was it called by? Oh my goodness, all the networks. Wow. All the networks. We have to forget about the law. Judges don't count. All the networks thought Biden was going to win by 10%. Gee, what happened?
Oh, sorry, we just wanted to correct. This is the Four Seasons total landscaping. We actually have somebody on the ground that took a picture of the entire view of this press conference. Can we cut to that? What the fuck, y'all? Aren't y'all supposed to be like a professional thing going on here? Like, this does not scream professional. Did you accidentally book a meeting or something at this particular location? And then they were like, well, we don't got a meeting room. We do landscaping, y'all. You can head out back there near the shitter. Oh, you could totally tape your sign up on the garage and everything. I mean, that shit'll just rub right on out. And yes, that was Rudy Giuliani hearing about the presidential race being called for Biden.
Trump already has the real numbers. He knows there was fraud and people will know it's fraud because of DNA. How exactly will DNA fix this? Foul. Well, I am glad you asked because I got my science degree out. Alright, DNA will prove that the person writing out the ballot might not have been the same person to write out the name. Here's an example. A guy named George Rock is going through the ballots. He takes out a ballot that has the name saying Jennifer Waters, and she voted for Trump. He throws away, rewrites it, and has her vote for Biden. His DNA will be on the ballot, not hers. Boom. Fucking drop my science, bitch.
Okay, there's so many things wrong with this little conversation chain, okay? For one thing, there's not going to be any DNA to test on the ballot. For another thing, that's not how the absentee ballots work or ballots in general work. So none of this is even possible.
How do I say this? if the Supreme Court doesn't side with Trump, he still doesn't have to step down, and if that comes, it goes to another election. Problem solved. Let's go home, people.
No, I don't think there's going to be another election, at least not another presidential election. Biden has won it as far as the votes go. Now it's up to the Electoral College. But also, there's a lot of people that think this is a thing. No, that's not why Amy Coney Barrett is there. Just because Trump filled the Supreme Court with people that he picked does not mean that the Supreme Court is going to bend to his will and give him the presidency.
Yep, that confirms it. I'm moving to Mexico. I have already took Spanish lessons, so I'm ready to go there. I can't stay in this country any longer with Biden leading the election.
Oh shit, another one moving to Mexico? Fuck. What are we gonna do if we don't have any more racist pieces of shit in our country? Oh, I guess we'll just be happy then, huh? Fucking live in peace and shit? Oh no!
Alright, hear me out now, okay? Now, if he loses our fight for country, I pray he makes so much money it's senseless and parks it offshore and then maybe buys up Mexico and then they can come here and the Red Wave family can go there. And just for fun, we can call our term limit president King just to piss off the left.
So, let me get this straight. You want Donald Trump to make so much money that he buys the country of Mexico and then sets up shop in Mexico so that all the Republicans can come and live in Mexico. I mean, it's not that I'm opposed to it, I just don't think that he's going to be able to make a lot of money from prison.
Well, I think I'll leave it to God. End times are approaching, by the way.
Oh yes, please, Miss Republican, leave it up to God. I would love for you to just leave it up to God and not do a goddamn thing.
Don't lose faith here. We know our president saw this coming straight at him. Have you noticed who he has gathered for legal investigators, defense, etc.? The best! It's not over! Heart. I was winking if you couldn't tell.
You know, I really don't care how many, legal investigators and lawyers and everything like that Donald Trump has. The fact is that there's no indication of fraud in this election. The only indication that we have is that Trump is a sore loser and so are his supporters, who would rather kill all the Democrats for treason rather than figure out a way to live amongst us.
I know. Trump should have won by a landslide.
No, I don't think Donald Trump should have won by a landslide. In fact, I'm incredibly saddened by the fact that over 70 million people voted for Trump and his racist policies, his racist ideas, his lies, and the fact that he's allowed over 200,000 people to die from coronavirus because he politicized various important things that could have saved lives. That's what scares me. So no, he shouldn't have won by a landslide. He actually should have lost by much, much more.
Biden. Biggest idiot Democrats ever nominated. Agree? Say yes in the comments down below.
I don't know why you gotta turn everything into some kind of fucking acronym. This is just dumb as shit. Well, that's all for the Trump supporters that I can find. I have to say most of the dumb comments, most of all the shit seemed like a lot of bot accounts. So I don't know if that's the case, or just a lot of people want to move to different countries that they once considered, shithole places. But let's check with Donald Trump, see how he's taken this news that he lost the presidential election.
Oh, I'm totally sorry. I don't have anything for you. As you can tell right now, Donald Trump is at the golf course, so he'll be back with you in just a minute.
Oh shit, he's at the golf course, but I think that he left us a tweet right before he teed off.
The observers were not allowed into the counting rooms. I won the election. Got 71 million legal votes. Bad things happened which our observers were not allowed to see. Never happened before. Millions of mail-in ballots were sent to people who never asked for them.
Okay, so let me get this straight. Whenever you have a vote, it's a legal vote. But if anybody else votes for Biden, those are illegal votes. Is that right? So everybody that voted for you did it legally. Everybody that voted for Biden did it illegally. Or at least most of them. I don't really think you understand how absentee and mail-in voting works. Of course, you primed us all for this whole tactic of trying to say that this is a fraudulent election and the Democrats stole it, because you've been saying this entire time that mail-in voting is prone to fraud when that's not what we actually find. Mail-in voting is pretty secure, and the amount of fraud that could happen in mail-in voting is about the same as in-person mail-in voting, if not less. Whew. Man, this was a hot take through the fucking Trump supporters feeds and on Facebook and everything, which I had a whole lot more, but they were all just, a lot of the same stuff. Democrats are stealing shit. Biden's going to be horrible and all this other stuff. And it got really repetitive. It's almost like they have a certain script that they run through, and once they're done with it, they just repeat it.
Well, I'd like to thank all you heathens out there for letting me come on, dramatize all these dumbass comments, posts, and tweets. They were sure fun to read, and god damn it, I cannot believe we're this fucking dumb.
Thank you, heathens, for joining me today for this look at the conservatives, specifically the Trump supporters, losing their minds over losing this election. If you will, please go down below, let me know what you thought about these comments. Do you think that this misrepresents the Trumpers, or do you think that this is spot on with the mentality of the Trump supporters? Let me know down below. And hey, while you're down there, why don't you smash that like button and subscribe if you want more stuff like this in your feed. Don't forget to stand up and use your voice. Bye, heathens.